Hello, you beautiful people out there. What is going on? This is your friend Birdie coming at you fast with another Birdix Beast build video. I just combined both of them. It's a Beast build video, okay? It's not a Burdick build. It's a Beast build video. And today we're going to be looking at Wraith Pool. I I couldn't come up with a better name, dude. I honestly couldn't. So I'm just going to be generic and say, oh, he's not Deadpool, but he's Wraith Pool. Whatever. Just kill me, okay? But anyway, we're going to be looking at a deck today for him. Now, I'm going to give you guys a disclosure. I only managed to test this deck once, okay? I only managed to test this deck once, but I've also watched some other people stream. I've also watched some other people play, and I think this is a pretty good deck to start from. Obviously, I don't expect you guys to copy this deck card for card. I don't expect you guys to copy any of my decks card for card. But I think this is a good place to start, and I'm throwing out some ideas with this deck as well. So, before we get into that, real quick, in the description you will find a link to this deck. You can import it straight from agora.gg. Yes, I got my shit together. I'm finally doing that, so everyone who asked me to do that, I'm finally doing it. So, you guys can click the link in the description to go straight to this deck. If you don't want to watch me talk about it and explain the build order, because the build order will kind of be fucked up in the agora.gg. So, don't go off the build order in there, but go, obviously, you know, the smaller cards first, the large cards later, so on and so forth. So let's get into it. We got the Archmagus for more damage. Wraith does a decent amount of damage, but he doesn't have too many damaging abilities, so you're going to build him like a caster with this deck pretty much. We're going to build him as if we're playing him in mid lane or even off lane. You can do that too if you want. I played him in mid lane. I see a lot of other people playing him in mid lane. So, we got the cast token, health potion, healer token for starters. So, healer token and health potion will be your starters. You have your dummy ward right here as well. And you have Empyrean Mask just because it's a good card to have. It just gives you all this stuff, and you can cycle between mana regen and power specifically. So, that's really, really useful. And then your first cards are going to be Quartz Blade, Sage's Ward, Adamant Edge, and Teleblink. Those are going to be your first 4 cards. It doesn't really matter what order you do. Usually you want to start with your Ward, though, of course. Your Ward is your best friend, especially now Wraith is in the game, and he also has invisibility alongside Kalari. So, Ward's got ever so more important. So definitely use the Sage's Ward. This is a 7-point Sage's Ward. That's there on purpose. Then you have Quartz Blade here for some damage and for some mana regen. Right now it's just Wraith versus Wraith in the mid lane or wherever the hell you place him. But if he goes up against a Bellica once the Wraith hyped up dies down, it'll be really difficult for him to keep his mana up. So having some cards with mana regen is pretty nice. So you might even want to substitute this Adamant Edge for Quartz Blade, but I like this Adamant Edge because it just gives me some more damage. So we're just going to build it all with damage, power right on through here. Then Teleblink is your 5-point card. It's going to let you blink forward by using 75 mana, and you can't use it after 5 you can't use it for 5 seconds after taking damage from an enemy hero. So, you can take damage from minions and you'll be fine, but you can't do it from an enemy hero. That's not fine. That's not okay. It's not okay. They say that you're fine, but you're not fine. Anyway, let's keep going. So, the next card is going to be Stinger Boost. Now, this is a good mid-game card, but you're not going to keep this in the final build. You're not going to keep this in the final build. This is nice just because Wraith doesn't have too many damaging abilities. He really needs to use some damage with his auto attacks as well, and he uses his abilities quite often. You know, you can use your Who's There ping ability to proc this. You can use, obviously, your knock knock to proc this. You can use your ultimate to proc this. So again, just like Kalari, you can bob and weave and interlace your ability damage with your basic damage, and then add bonus with the Stinger Boost. It gives you some good mid game mana, and it gives you some attack speed, which lets you fire off more auto attacks in less time. So I guess it's useful, but we're not going to keep it in the final build because the final build is going to focus on damage mostly. So that's why I don't want to keep it. Some people like to keep it. I don't know. It's all up to you. Again, throwing out ideas here. So then you're going to have this Teleblink, the Sage's Ward, and then you're going to have 4 12-point cards. That's going to be your final build with this deck. So those are all the mid-game cards. And then obviously you have Honor the Pure, Nano Drive, and Stasis Gem, which they don't have any full upgrade bonuses, but you're still going to have cards in them. You're going to still have upgrade cards in them. So now you're going to have these Adamant Edges. These are going to be your 12-point damage edges. I don't know why I have a major cast in here. Let's just keep it, you know, even with major strikes. it really doesn't matter. But the point being is that you're just going to deal a lot of damage with these adamant edges, and then you're going to have 2 out of these 3 cards for your utility purposes. So Honor the Pure is if you don't have a support that it has an order affinity that runs this card. So if you have Phase as support, this would be great to put on Wraith, because again, he doesn't do as much damage as the other casters, so you need to utilize his abilities and his utility more so kinda as like a second support. He's interesting. He's like a caster support hybrid, kind of like Faye is, really. I mean, Faye, you can build damagey, but then you also build cards that help support your team. Same thing here. So I don't know. There's that. That's why I have Honor the Pure. It's with 6 points of health in there, just because you don't really need mana on Wraith. He gets it per level, and then also his abilities don't really cost that much mana, and he refunds his shot with his sniper rifle. So if you get the last hit on minions and such. So you really shouldn't be running out of mana when you're wave clearing. Then I have this card, Nano Drive, which is good for running away. It gives you Ability Pen, which is good for more damage. And then you also gain 100 movement speed for 2.5 seconds. This just helps you run away. This helps you get closer. It's just nice to have movement speed on him because he does have the Bring It Back ability, but that's not really an escape ability. Like if there's more than one person, you're kind of screwed. So having this running around, killing time, waiting for your sniper rifle to come off cooldown, then using your sniper rifle again, or using this running behind geometry, shooting through the walls with your sniper rifle, stuff like that, I just find it to be pretty useful. And 100 movement speed is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty helpful to have that much movement speed for 2.5 seconds. That's a long time in a MOBA. Speaking of 2.5 seconds, we also have Stasis Gem, as you guys might have noticed here, and this is good again for shaving stuff off of your cooldown. So if you use your sniper ability, then you get into a little pinch, or you use your Bring It Back ability, and you used it a bit earlier, but you need like 3 more seconds for it to occur. Then you can use Stasis Gem while you're being attacked. If Countess just teleports you can use this to counter her burst. Stasis Gem is very tricky. It's very hard to use Stasis Gem correctly, and I might even make a guide about it at a certain point later on in the future, because of how many people just use Stasis Gem in a panicky way. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to. There's actually a strategy behind using Stasis Gem, but it helps get your abilities off cooldown. It helps survive burst damage, and again, because also Wraith's ability, Wraith's Bring It Back ability, takes a few seconds to charge up and then send the enemy back. So before that even activates, like before they even get sent back, they can still do a lot of damage. So you can activate that ability, then activate Stasis Gem to protect yourself, and then they'll be sent back, and then you'll be able to run away. So Stasis Gem is good. This also has 6 points of damage just to make it a 12-point card. So all of these have 12-point cards. Again, you're only going to use 2 out of these 3 bottom cards in your final build. Your final build is going to look like Sage's Ward, Teleblink, these 2 Adamant Edges that are 12 points each, and then 2 out of these 3 12-point cards in total, and that's going to be the final deck right there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Again, the link is in the description for the deck build that you guys can take it and put it right up in your game with the import and export options. It's very sexy. Just switched over to Russian mode there. And also, quick thing, on Twitch, I'm getting a sub button. I'm very close to getting a sub button, which means I'm gonna have emotes, which means it's gonna be lit. So if you want to be one of the first people to get those, then hop on over to twitch.tv/BriticHD, link in the description. And yeah, I'll see you guys there, and that'll be fucking awesome. Yes, I'm a sellout. Just sue me, okay? Sue me. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. As always, make sure to have a wonderful day.